On May 25, 1979, American Airlines Flight 191 accelerated down the runway at Chicago O'Hare. It was a routine flight, filled with routine people. Seconds after liftoff, the left engine detached, ripping away a section of the wing. The plane banked violently and disintegrated into a fireball. It remains one of the deadliest aviation accidents in American history. Among the 273 souls lost was a man named Itzhak Bentov to the public. He was a brilliant and quirky Israeli-American scientist, an inventor who created the first steerable RT catheter, a man who saved countless lives. To his friends, he was a whimsical mystic, a sculptor, a musician, and a gentle soul who survived the Nazi occupation of Czechoslovakia. But to a select group within the United States intelligence community, Bentov was something else entirely. He was a consultant, a man brought in to explain the unexplainable. While the CIA was busy with programs like Stargate and the Gateway process, attempting to weaponize extrasensory perception, they needed someone to map the terrain. They needed a physicist who could also speak the language of mystics. They needed Itzhak Bentov, and Bentov delivered. He provided them with a model of reality so profound, so complete, that it unified consciousness, physics, and ancient spirituality. He explained how remote viewing worked. He explained how the human body was a finely tuned antenna for a much larger reality. He handed them the schematic of the universe, and then he died. We must ask the question, was his death a tragic accident, or was it the predictable outcome for a man who knew too much? Was the science he uncovered truly forbidden? This is not merely a biography. This is an excavation. We are here to uncover the final secret that Itzhak Bentov died for. It is a secret that begins with a simple, terrifying proposition. The world you see around you is an illusion. Your body, the chair you're sitting in, the screen you're watching, it is all a projection. We are living inside a vast, complex, and interactive hologram. This idea shakes the very foundation of our identity. If this world is a stage, are you the main character? Or are you just an audience member being manipulated by forces unseen? Are you truly yourself, or just a collection of labels assigned to you at birth? A set of programs running on borrowed hardware. Bentov's work forces us to confront this. He didn't. He just theorized. He created a model. He called it stalking the world pendulum. He proposed that at the very root of existence, there is only one thing: consciousness, oscillating, a single pendulum vibrating, back and forth, from absolute rest the void to manifested reality. He calculated that this oscillation happens constantly, blinking our entire universe in and out of existence billions of times per second. We do not perceive this blinking, just as we do not see the individual frames of a movie. We only see the continuous story. We call this story reality. What Bentov discovered was the projector. He found the mechanism of the matrix. His work, documented in classified CIA files and published in his humble, deceptively simple book, suggests that you are not a solid object. You are a pattern. You are a melody being, played by the universe. The atoms that make up your hand are 99.999% empty space, and the tiny points of matter they contain are just localized fields of vibration. You are not a thing. You are an event. This is the secret that ancient wisdom has encoded for millennia. The mystics of the East called it Maya, the illusion of form. The Gnostics called it the corrupt demiurge, a false creation distracting us from the true light. Thoth, in the Emerald Tablets, spoke of reality as a construct of thought. That is a bow. So below, Bentov was the man who pierced this veil. He wasn't a philosopher arguing about the nature of the self. He was an engineer, taking it apart to see how it worked. He found the frequency. He found the code. The question he leaves for us, the question that echoes from his mysterious death, is not just what is the universe. The question is who or what is observing it. If reality is a hologram, it requires a light source to project it and an observer to perceive it. Bentov's final, forbidden secret is this: you are both. You are the projector, and you are T, the observer. And the moment you truly realize this, the rules of the hologram begin to change. The quantum shift begins. To understand Bentov's forbidden science, we must first abandon our common sense view of the world. We are trained to see reality as a collection of separate objects: a car, a tree, a person. Bentov saw it as a symphony. He saw it as a single, unified field of consciousness in constant motion. This is the wild pendulum. Imagine the universe before existence. There is only the absolute, the void, a state of infinite potential, perfect stillness, and total awareness. Bentov describes this as a pendulum at the very top of its swing, held in a moment of perfect rest. In this state, there is no time, no space, no thing. There is only beingness. But this stillness cannot hold. The potential energy becomes too great. The pendulum swings. In that swing, consciousness moves from its state of rest into a state of motion, and in this movement, reality explodes into being. This is the Big Bang. Suddenly, we have vibration, frequency, and energy. This energy cools, coalesces, and forms the interference patterns that we perceive as matter. The universe becomes a thing. The pendulum reaches the bottom of its swing, the point of maximum physicality, and then, drawn by the memory of its origin, it swings back up toward the void. It returns to that state of perfect rest, dissolving all of an instant, before swinging back down again. This, Bentov calculated, is the fundamental pulse of our reality. Our universe blinks in and out of existence, oscillating between form and formless. Billions of times per second. We are living inside this cosmic vibration, this great out-breath and in-breath of the absolute. This model alone is profound. But it is what Bentov discovered inside this oscillation that changes everything. He found the frequency of our own planet. He noted that the Earth itself has a resonant frequency, a heartbeat. This electromagnetic TIC pulse, known as the Schumann resonance, vibrates at an average of 7.83 Hz. It is the sound of our world. Then, Bentov looked at the human body. He measured the micro vibrations of the heart, the aorta, and the brain during deep meditation. He found that when a person enters a state of profound bliss, coherence, or mystical awareness, their entire body-mind system tunes into this very same frequency. Our brainwave shift from the alert beta state, our everyday worried mind, down to the alpha, theta border. We begin to vibrate at 7 Hz. This is not a metaphor. Is physics. At 7 Hz, the human being becomes a perfect antenna. We physically, measurably, and electrically synchronize with the heartbeat of the planet. This 7 Hz frequency is the carrier wave for consciousness. It is the steady signal upon which the hologram of our reality is projected. Think of it like an old television set. The 7 Hz signal is the cathode ray, the steady beam of light, while our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the films being played over it, creating the images we see on the screen. The systems of control in our world understand this, even if only intuitively. This is why modern society is a machine designed to keep you out of this frequency. The 9-to-5 grind, The constant bombardment of fear from the media, the notifications on your phone, the processed foods, the endless noise, all of it is designed to keep your brainwaves in a high beta state, a state of stress, anxiety, and separation. In a beta state, you are locked into the illusion. You perceive yourself as a separate, solid object, fighting for survival in a world of other separate, solid objects. You forget you are the ocean. You believe you are just the wave. The social media platforms that promise connection are, in fact, tools of disconnection. They are surveillance architectures designed to capture your attention and harvest your emotional energy, keeping you addicted to a drama of the self. The political theater, with its actors posing as leaders, is a script written by hidden elites, a spectacle designed to generate fear and division, locking you firmly in the lower vibrations of the hologram. Bentov's work reveals that the escape is not political. It is vibrational. The key is to consciously tune your own receiver, your body, back to the 7 Hz frequency. When you do, the illusion of separation dissolves. You are no longer just a character in the movie. You become the projector light itself. You stop being a victim of the hologram and start becoming its co-creator. This is the first step in unlocking a holographic universe. It is the shift from a consciousness that experiences reality to a consciousness that knows. It is the source of reality. This grand, cosmic model, a universe blinking in and out of existence, powered by a single, oscillating consciousness, may sound like science fiction. But Itzhak Bentov was not the first to discover it. He was simply the first to describe it in the language of modern physics. The true architects of this knowledge were the ancient mystics, the philosopher priests of Egypt, Greece, and India. They didn't have oscilloscopes or EEG machines, but they had a technology far more powerful. Disciplined, internal observation. They mapped the sound, territory, and they left us their maps, hidden in plain sight, encoded as symbols. Perhaps the most potent symbol for Bentov's wild pendulum is the Ouroboros, the serpent, or drag, on, eating its own tail. We see this symbol everywhere, from the tomb of Tutankhamun to the alchemical texts of medieval Europe. We are told it represents eternity or cycles, but this is a shallow reading. The Ouroboros is not just a symbol, it is a diagram. It is the schematic of a closed-loop system, a universe that is self-consuming and self-creating. The serpent's head represents the absolute, the void, the 0 point of infinite potential that Bentov described. The tail represents the manifested universe, the world of form and matter. The act of the serpent eating its tail is the cosmic oscillation. It is the inventor, the absolute, the moment the universe blinks out of existence, dissolving matter back into pure potential. The serpent becoming its tail is the out-breath, the swing of the pendulum, the Big Bang, the constant act of creation. The Ouroboros is Bentov's pendulum, frozen in a single, perfect image. It tells us that creation and destruction are not opposing forces. They are two parts of the same single motion. It shows us that the end of the universe is its beginning. The ancient mystics understood this. The Gnostics taught that our physical world was a holographic creation of a lesser God. The demiurge, that our only escape was gnosis, direct knowledge of the true, formless God beyond the illusion. The Hindu Vedas describe the universe as Leela, the divine play of Brahma. They state that the entire cosmos is the dream of Vishnu, and we are but figures within that dream. Why do these symbols and stories repeat echo? Us cultures that supposedly had no contact. Why do the eye, the pyramid, and the serpent appear in Egypt, in Mesoamerica, and in the esoteric traditions of the West? It is because they are not inventions, they are observations. They are the recurring patterns that emerge when consciousness turns inward and observes its own mechanism. These symbols are the ritual technology, the ancients' precise tools for transmitting this forbidden knowledge across millennia. When a modern physicist like Bentov builds a model of reality based on oscillation, he is not proving the mystic's right. He is simply, finally, catching up. He is rediscovering the same architecture. This continuity is deliberate. The bloodlines of ancient priesthoods were not just about genetics. They were about preserving a ritual, memory, a continuity of consciousness. What we in the modern world dismiss as spectacle, the coronations, the specific geometry of capital C. It is the rituals of secret societies. These are often the enactment of this deeper, symbolic narrative. They are practicing the physics of the hologram. Bentov's work cracks the code. It provides the Rosetta Stone that allows us to read these ancient symbols not as primitive myths, but as a sophisticated owner's manual for the holographic universe we inhabit. The ancients knew the universe was a simulation. Bentov reverse engineered the code. If the universe is a hologram, and we are living inside it, what does that mean for us? Right now, this is where Bentov's work transitions. From theoretical physics to a practical guide for transformation. The answer lies in the most baffling and profound discovery of quantum mechanics, the observer effect. In the quantum world, nothing is real until it is observed. An electron does not exist as a particle in a place. It exists as a wave of probability, a cloud of all possible futures, simultaneously. It is only when a conscious observer decides to look to measure that this wave of potential collapses into a single, concrete event. The act of observation creates the reality for decades. This was a paradox that baffled scientists, but Bentov's model explains it perfectly. If the universe is a hologram projected from a deeper field of consciousness, then matter is just an interference pattern. It has to be a wave of potential until a consciousness interacts with it. You are that consciousness. You are the observer. Your brain is not a generator of consciousness, as mainstream science believes. It is a receiver. It is a biological antenna, tuned to the 7 Hz signal of the cosmos, pulling in the stream of universal consciousness and filtering it into the 5 sense reality you call you, the you that you think you are. Your name, your history, your anxieties. Your ego is just the filter. It is the program. But the consciousness using a filter is universal. It is the absolute. This is the great hidden power we all possess. The prison, as the Gnostics called it, is not the world. The prison is our identification with the character we are playing. How do we break this identification? How do we stop being the character and start being the observer? Bentov didn't just provide the theory. He provided the technology. It is the same technology used by the ancient mystics, meditation. But Bentov described it as an engineer. He explained that our normal, anxious thinking creates chaotic, jagged signals in the brain, the beta waves. This noise scrambles our connection to the 7 Hz. Carry a wave. We are like a radio tuned to static. The goal of meditation is simple: to quiet the noise. Bentov taught a technique of focusing on the body's own micro-vibrations. He instructed students to feel the pulse of their heart, not just in their chest, but in their hands, their feet, in every cell, to trace this vibration as it moves in a circuit through the body, up the spine, and into the brain. As you focus on this internal rhythm, your brain waves naturally begin to slow down. You move from beta thinking to alpha, relaxing, and as you go deeper, you hit the 7 Hz theta state. In this state, a phase lock occurs. Your personal, biological rhythm synchronizes with the 7 Hz rhythm of the planet. The receiver is now perfectly tuned. And in this state, the illusion of separation dissolves. The you that is the ego, the I that is always chattering, goes silent, and for the first time, why? Who experience the consciousness behind the I? You experience the observer. This is not just a feeling. It is a shift in physics. Fear is not just an emotion. It is a low vibration frequency, a fuel for the unseen architecture of control. When you are in fear, you are feeding the program. You are collapsing reality in a way that confirms your fear. But when you create high vibration state gratitude, creative joy, stillness, love, you are creating a new signal. You are withdrawing your energy from their game. You are creating a coherent wave that begins to rewrite the hologram. You cannot defeat the system with fear or anger. You can only defeat it by withdrawing your energy, by remembering that you are the observer. Every single act of true awareness, every moment, you choose stillness over noise. You are weakening the system's grip. You are unlocking the hologram. We began with a mystery. The tragic death of Itzhak Bentov, a man who gave the intelligence community a map of the universe, a man who bridged the forbidden gap between physics and God. But the true, final secret is not what Bentov knew. It is what his work proves about you. His entire model, the wild pendulum, the 7 Hz frequency, T. He holographic projection, all of it, hinges on one single, transformative fact. The universe is a closed loop of consciousness, and you are not in the loop. You are the loop, the ancient mystics. Through the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its tail, they were trying to show us that the creator, the head, and the creation, the tail, are one and the same. The separation is the illusion. Bentov's physics proved it. We are taught to feel small. We are taught to be consumers of reality, powerless puppets in a play directed by forces we cannot see. Politicians, billionaires, hidden me, lights, or angry gods. We are taught that we are just the flesh, just the body, just the name. This is the foundational lie of the Matrix. Bentov's final secret is the ultimate declaration of power. You are not the puppet. You are not even the audience. You are the author of the script, the projector light, and the screen. All at once, the prison door was never locked. It was built of story. It was built of the belief in your own separation, the belief in your own powerlessness, the belief in the reality of fear, and you can rewrite the story. Awakening is not a gentle, passive event. It is the radical, definitive act of reclaiming your authorship. It is the moment you stop feeding the hologram of fear and start projecting the hologram of your own sovereign consciousness. This I is your quantum shift. It is not something that happens to you. It is something you are. It is the remembering of what you have always been. The work of Itzhak Bentov was not a tragedy. It was a catalyst. His death, whether by accident or by design, only amplified his message, preserving it for a time when we would be ready to hear it. That time is now. You are not a body. You are not a name. You are not your past. You are infinite. Consciousness, temporarily experiencing limits, temporarily projecting yourself as a human, and you are remembering that now. The hologram is waiting for its new author. The wild pendulum has swung. It is time to wake up.